Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Keeping It Real with Mary and Lionel. We only have one host with you this afternoon, and that will be me. We have our special guest this afternoon, our famous Barbadian star, Mr. Christopher Price, who will be joining us shortly. Of course, Lionel is missing in action. He has other commitments, which we understand he would have to attend to. But we'll be looking forward to seeing him on our next show with us, where we are going to have a special guest by the name of Christopher Hazani Roberts, a Canadian born to immigrants from Barbados. He was born in Montreal, and his hometown is in Toronto. He's a father, husband, of course, he has two sons, but he has a very interesting background which we would like to touch on. One of those is the aspect that he helps within the community and it serves on the Racial Justice and Equality Task Force at Salesforce, where he teaches and enlightens the lives of boys and girls, and that's a Boys and Girls Club that focuses on Black youth under the poverty line. So it's interesting. Don't miss it. It's going to be on the 9th of August at 9 a.m. What we'd like to touch on, though, however, is two of our athletes. Those of you who have been following the Olympics in Tokyo, unfortunately, two of our hopefuls failed to advance to the finals. That would be our very own Barbadian Jonathan Jones and Tia Adana Bell. Their journey to the Olympics have prematurely come to an end. We know that we were so looking forward to seeing Jones go in the men's 400 this morning. Of course, he came eighth in the semifinals, and our own Tia Adana Bell placed eighth as well in the 400-meter hurdles semifinals. So we know that we would have had some hopefuls coming forward, but unfortunately, those two did not manage to make it to the finals. We have to follow that. We know that tomorrow is cricket, which will be the West Indies versus Pakistan. It's hosted in Providence, Georgetown, Guyana. We hope that there's no rain. It will be the last of the T20s that are being hosted in that country. We also want to congratulate Andre de Grasse, who wins a bronze in the Olympics men's 100. Of course, he has Barbadian connections. His father's a Barbadian, so we want to congratulate him as well. So, folks, keep watching, keep giving support, and we are looking forward to Road to Tokyo Olympics with our guest, Captain Michael Jules, the evening of the 9th of August at 6 p.m. We're going to have a special invited guest from St. Vincent, also an athlete who was afforded a scholarship to the US. And I think that is going to be a very informative talk and discussion with Captain Michael Jules, a very familiar name to those of you who follow a lot of sporting activities within Barbados. Now, with us, our guests, special guests, as we said, Mr. Christopher Price. Who is Mr. Christopher Price? Well, for those of you who would not know, like me, I was a bit in the dark about him, but I found it very, very intriguing that we have such talent that has left our little 166 square miles and go quite afar and take the opportunity of highlighting the artistic aspect of performing before audiences. We're familiar with Laugh It Off and what was it, Bajan Bus Stop and things like that. But to have an international star, aside from those who might have known Alison Smith Seeley, who also added to the Canadian market when it came to filming, we have gotten the opportunity to speak to our very own star. And remember, that's what we do on our show. We highlight our very own. So, for those of you who may not know, and he can correct me when he comes on, a little bit about Christopher Ricardo Price. He is a Barbadian who resides in Montreal, and he has always loved acting. This all began in the late 80s where he had the opportunity to meet Danny Glover. Anybody knows who Danny Glover is? Yes. Danny Glover on a movie set, and he was an extra. He knew he wanted to pursue a career in film and television, and over the years, he's worked with numerous movies and television shows, of course, background performer, and has met numerous actors throughout his journey. He has recently worked on the Jack Ryan season one in 2018 as the actor Wendell Pierce, James Greer, double and stand-in. He was also cast in 2018 Square Terminal commercial. And in 2019, he played Martin Luther King Sr. in a recreation on CNN's Race for the White House season 2. Now, we are going to invite Mr. Christopher Price to have a little sit down with us because he actually is on another set. So we don't want to take away too much of his time. So let us bring him in and welcome Christopher to hot and warm Barbados. I'm sure it's the same in Canada, but let's welcome Christopher. Good evening, Christopher.
Hi, Marie.
How are you?
I'm okay. Yourself?
Hot.
Well, you know what? We have some hot weather here too, finally.
You're kidding me. Well, if you get snow before fall comes in,
Uh-huh.
send it down here to Barbados. We wouldn't mind having it at all. We are just cooking up here. It's been
Oh, yeah?
overcast and it's extremely hot. And I don't want to say that everybody wants to strip right now in Barbados. It is hot, and it is the hottest summer right now for us in Barbados,
Well,
especially after Hurricane Elsa. You wouldn't
well,
expect.
I'm hoping to get down there maybe in the fall, winter, So when
Oh,
all this
well, you bring some of that with you. You bring some of that with you. Definitely. We welcome you, even though it's afar, to Barbados on our little show. And we know that persons are a little bit curious about Christopher Price. Well, I've
That's
never heard
right.
his name before. And we were actually introduced by one of our guest co hosts, Jewel,
Yes.
who was on
Yes.
our show, and she explained herself that she also played a part in a movie, which we're going to highlight a little snippet of. But before we get to that, let us give you
hmm
the opportunity to give us a little bit more about your Barbadian life. We want to know a little bit about you and your cakey pants running around if you played cricket, because I love cricket, or football, and tell us how your journey began from Barbados and took you to Canada.
Well, I was born in St. Michael's,
Oh,
and
mm-hmm.
I lived most of the time I was there. I left Barbados when I was about, say, 9 years old.
Okay.
And I was living in Workman, St. George.
Oh,
So,
in the
so yeah,
country,
I'm from St. George. Huh?
in the country, yes.
Yeah, in the country.
Uh huh.
Which, whenever I go back, I go back to St. George and I visit everybody. Visit most of the
Beautiful,
people.
beautiful,
So
beautiful.
I left Barbados when I was, I think, 9 years old,
Uh huh.
and my parents were living in London.
Uh huh.
So I went to London,
Oh,
and yeah,
drastic
London,
change, different
yes,
weather.
and I was there for a while, and then we came to Canada. I think we came to Montreal. I think in the around 1970, around
Okay.
1970. Yes.
Mm-hmm,
So I've
mm-hmm.
been here ever since.
Wow.
Love Canada, love Montreal,
Moi
but
aussi, moi aussi. Mhm.
vous parlez le français un petit peu, hein?
Un petit peu, oui.
But I try to come back and visit Barbados every now and then.
Yes,
I think
yes.
it's been about maybe 2 years since I've been back, but usually I come back and I visit. I have my uncle. I want to say, hey, Uncle Lionel, up in
Hi.
Workman, St. George. Uncle Lionel.
Yes.
He's one
Uh-huh.
of my favorite uncles. So every time I would come to Barbados, I would go take him out, hang out with him, go to Oystons, go to the beach. Like
Ooh,
real
you
cool
do.
guy, my uncle.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. And you do the Barbadian thing, like most Barbadians. When they come home, they go to the
Yes,
beach, they visit
exactly.
Oystons. You have a little bit of sauce. That's if you eat sauce. If
Yeah.
not, you're
Oh
going to have
yeah, and
the
fish.
chefettes. Everybody loves the chefettes. So
Yes.
I know what it's like.
And yeah, and when I come back, well, the accent comes back. So when I'm with the guys, the Bajan accent comes back. So when I come back to Canada, I gotta
Slip
kind
it
of
back
lose it a
in.
bit.
Yeah, you got to
Exactly.
slip it back
Exactly.
in.
So about me, well, you see, let me see. Yeah, so I've been living in Canada for all this time, over 50 years,
Yes, yes.
and my love for acting, like you said, I was on set. I met Danny Glover. Actually, it was the first time also I met Samuel L. Jackson,
Wow.
and
Hmm.
yeah, it was a prison movie, and
Hmm.
if I remember correctly, Samuel L. Jackson was in the prison cell next door to where I was, and he was
Uh-huh.
getting executed. So this is what this movie was. So it was kind of like the first time I heard of Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh my God.
But,
Yes.
but Danny Glover, we struck up a friendship actually on set because like I find that when a lot of black actors they come to Montreal,
Hmm.
and when they see another black person, we always say hi. You're like no matter what, we always say hi.
Yeah, that's right.
we,
That's right.
we acknowledge each other. So we struck up a friendship, and we
Hmm.
became friends. And I took him around town, and we went to La Ronde, which is an amusement park. We went to restaurants. So my love for acting, it became even like better because here I am. I'm meeting a big star,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, and we're getting along.
yeah.
So, but as time went on, I took classes. I did a lot of classes, and I did a little bit of theater.
Hmm.
But in Canada, well, especially in Montreal, at the time, I mean, they were shooting movies, but it was hard for Black people because most of the roles or most of everything was towards the Caucasian people.
Yes.
You know, but if you see like today, everybody gets a chance.
Right,
So
right,
it, it,
right,
it
right.
doesn't it doesn't matter the role.
So,
So
does it pertain to race equality now coming about because of the Black Lives Matter? You
yes,
think? Okay.
yes,
Because you would have
yeah,
been in an era that was very different, and being a
exactly.
Black actor, whichever way you're looking at it, it would have been very difficult, even if
Yes.
you try to cross over, be it in the US or in the UK. So for you,
Mhm.
the experience was just as hard as if you were in any of those industries on the other side of the
Exactly.
water. Okay.
But
Hmm.
I never wanted to leave Canada because I love Canada. So, people say, well, why don't you go to the States? Honestly, I just feel more safer here, in Canada. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
but there is a lot more opportunities. I've worked in so many films, like a lot in background, and so like I've met a lot of like big people.
Hmm.
Like I'll give example. Like I've met like from George Clooney. I worked with him for like for
Hmm.
2 days.
Right.
I've met Bette Midler. I
Yes.
watched her work on set in a movie called Isn't She Great? And I'm
Yes.
I'm, I'm watching Bette Midler, Stockard Channing, David Hyde Pierce, and I'm watching can't remember the other guy's name, but I'm watching these people work, and I'm on set and watching these people work.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then I had an opportunity to watch Denzel Washington work. A movie called
Woo!
Bone Collector with Queen Latifah and Angelina Jolie. And imagine I'm in a room with these people, and,
Yes. You were
and
actually stargazing.
exactly, I mean, I was playing a policeman, but still, I'm like, wow, you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
and then I had the opportunity to speak to Denzel. Very
Hmm.
nice guy, so oh yeah, it was
Did you take
great.
him out for dinner too?
No, we just spoke briefly because a lot of times you're not really supposed to mix,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but honestly, black actors, like we all communicate. We'll say hi and we'll talk to each other. I don't know, it's just a thing that we have, We're like
yeah.
it's
I
like that
think
over here.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Not that the other folks aren't going to talk to you, but there's a
Exactly.
line. I think there's a line because at the end of the day, when you hear things like the same Denzel, who
Yeah.
even went out as far as to help persons like Chadwick, you
Yes.
know, um, he is someone that you can look up to. Now, for you, With your journey of meeting so many individuals throughout your acting career,
Hmm.
what is your preference in terms of film? Is it action? Is it drama? Is it thriller? What's your preference?
Well, honestly, I mean, I like action. Like I've always wanted to work in an action film.
Okay,
Something. Which I'm having the opportunity coming up pretty soon, right?
right.
But but when you're on set, you get to see everything that's going on with everybody, right?
Hmm.
Now, I don't know if you've watched the Jack Ryan TV series
A little bit, I
with
did.
John Krasinski and Wendell Pierce. Okay,
Yes.
so I worked on that for 5 months. I was
Uh huh.
Wendell standing and his double,
Right.
and I got to see.
So you mean I have to put on
I
another
learned.
pair of glasses?
I'm sorry.
Because I have to wear another pair of glasses because you're
Okay.
doubling me now. So is that what it is?
Yeah. So I got really up close to see how these guys work. Especially
Right.
John Krasinski. Like everybody was so great on that set.
Uh huh.
So I got to see how everybody like how it's done. Like
Right.
they make it so easy.
Right.
you know
Yes.
and
Yes.
and, and it's amazing the time that goes into when you're filming. Sometimes it takes maybe a whole day, like
Hmm.
15 hours to do maybe sometimes 1 minute of something.
Wow. Right.
So
Right.
it takes a lot. But getting back to my journey, yeah, so I worked in so many things. And then actually, one of my big opportunities really came recently was in the United States versus Billie Holiday. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
I got casted by Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels, great director. Um, he is one person. He picks every single person for his movie, even the background extras. Like
Hmm.
he picks everybody.
Hmm.
So I felt honored. Like I went in. I read for a little part. It was small, but they always say there are no small parts. Everything's big.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And I got the call that I got the role, and I was like, wow. So I mean, I'm excited. Look, I mean, I'm on set with Andrew Day,
Can you
with,
imagine?
yeah, with Trevante Rhodes, Tyler Christopher,
Yes.
and Everybody Hates Chris. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. But everybody makes you feel comfortable because they all think that you're somebody. Because so when you go on set, everybody thinks that you're somebody. So everybody's just normal.
Yeah, yeah, but
So
they're all human beings. So, I mean,
exactly.
so it's a job that they're doing, and they're trying to entertain those persons out there because
Yes.
you would be not just an actor, but you will also be an entertainer. And for some persons who may not know the movie, the
Hmm.
U.S. versus Billie Holiday, let's
Yes, it's a
just
very
give
good movie.
folks a snippet of it so you could give them a little dialogue on what it was really, so that they understand the movie. The movie's credits were merited even for the awards that they were afforded, inclusive of Andrew Day's Golden Globe Award. Let's see what the folks
Most
think of it.
special.
Oops.
You know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Billie Holiday.
Reporters keep asking me, Billy, why you do the things you do? This is what I tell them.
All of me
We love you.
when I take off.
NAACP says Billie Holiday is the voice of our people.
I think we should integrate the audience for this show. Let's change it up a little bit. Blacks and whites sitting together.
You knew what you were getting yourself into when you decided to come on the road.
Get out my goddamn clothes.
I'm gonna take everything except your bra and your man.
Which one of my songs is your favorite song?
Strange fruit.
It's a song about important things, things that are going on in the country.
This holiday woman's causing a lot of people to think the wrong things.
It's a starting gun for this so-called civil rights movement.
Those lyrics provoke people.
Y'all got a plan?
She's a drug addict.
Exactly. I cut strange fruit.
I want to sing the damn song.
It's for your own good, okay?
I'll sing it the fuck up. Southern trees
Get her off that stage.
bear strange fruit. They won't let me sing sing nowhere, no clubs, no money, no nothing. You gotta understand, baby, right now I'm in a situation.
You said we could beat this, Billy.
I need some now.
Blood on the leaves.
You're like a hammer. Come right back and it hit harder than before.
And blood.
She's singing it for all of us. Ain't no other Negro star bold enough to do it.
Black bodies swinging
I'm being followed. I'm not gonna cower to no fizz.
in the southern breeze.
She's made something of herself, and you can't take it because she's strong, beautiful, and black.
Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees.
You think I'm gonna stop singing that song?
Wow.
Your grandkids will be singing Strange Fruit.
Great
Now,
movie.
I admire Lee Daniels.
Yes.
And my question, I think one person who asked was, although you know that Andrew Day is an actual singer, a singer in terms of performing for the audience, what is your take for you performing with her as an actor as she performs the arts of an actress? What was
Well,
it for you?
Well, to be honest with you, at first, I was in the makeup room trailer, sitting down, getting my makeup and stuff on, and she was sitting next to me, and I didn't really know Andra Day, 'cause, like, I've heard the name, and I'm looking over and I'm saying, she looks familiar. So I really didn't know who she was.
Oh my God.
Oh, I've heard about her. I mean, there she is in person, and then okay. So when I went on set, then I realized who she was. She's playing Billie Holiday, and it's like, wow, that's her. And I started talking to her, and she was very nice.
Yeah.
And when I walked on to the set, I'm all dressed up in my suit and everything. I'm like, I'm Billy, Andrew Day is playing Billie Holiday. And then I look over and I see Trevante Rhodes and I see everybody. So I'm kind of like nervous.
Right. Right.
But she did a fantastic job, because I watched the movie, and like she was incredible, and she's also an incredible person.
Yeah.
And even when I was doing my little scene with her, she made me feel very comfortable. So it was a real pleasure, working on the set.
So for the folks, give us a little snippet, because obviously I wouldn't be able to pull that scene off of the movie. Give us a little snippet of what your role was.
Well, my role was,
Billie Holiday.
believe it or not, I was her drug dealer, selling her drugs. Actually, that's the part that I got. So I'm in a room with, they're all talking. So I walk in the room. I'm all dressed in my nice red suit and hat, and I walk in, and I'm talking to her. I'm selling her some drugs, and then I'm looking around.
Medicine, narcotics.
Exactly. And I left the room, and somebody said something to me, and I said something back, and it's like, even though it's a small scene, for me, it's like big. It's like, wow, and I got a lot of compliments on that role,
Yeah.
like doesn't matter, like, just to be in a Lee Daniels movie, even if you're there for a second, it's like,
It's a wow effect. It would have to be, because as you said, he to me is one of the best Black directors that we have in America, across the globe, for what I know. Even
so he gave me a chance.
To even bring Precious and the
Exactly.
Butler. I mean, the first thing that a lot of folks may not know about Billie Holiday is that she did have a drug and alcohol problem.
Yes.
And from reviews, a lot of persons aren't for the film because they say that the depiction was mostly on her heroin use.
Yes.
Yes, but it also shows the persons out there what a black woman encountered struggling to sing a song that meant a lot to others out there, because Strange
Exactly.
Fruit was just not a simple song. It was a song
No.
that spoke about the lives and the killing and what's happening out there. And even though she never really truly considered herself an activist, um, I think what was projected there throughout the movie is that persons were thinking, was she an activist or was she really singing? Was she an activist or was she a drug addict? So I think
I
the
think there's all those
blended,
things.
yeah, the blended aspect of her character and those around her showed who Billie Holiday would have been or was, I can't say is, but was for the time being that we would have seen her,
Mm.
um, quote unquote, for that small snippet. With your other films,
Yes, well, I think also because of that, I was able to work in. They're doing a new Home Alone. You know the movie Home
yes,
Alone.
Home
Yeah,
Alone,
so
very
they're
popular
doing
Christmas film.
a Home Alone reboot. So I had the pleasure of working in that. Had a little part
Yes,
as a
uh
bell
huh,
choir member.
yeah.
I had to learn how to play Christmas bells, so we had rehearsals.
Ah,
And great director, British Dan Mazer. Fantastic guy. And then we had Ellie Kemper and Ron Delaney. These were the actors that
uh
are the
huh,
stars of Home Alone.
right.
I also had the
Do they look
opportunity to
the
work.
same? I
Sorry?
gotta ask. Do they look the same?
No, no, these are new actors for the movie. It's not the same people. It's like a
Okay, so it's
reboot.
just a reboot. Okay,
Yes, yeah,
okay.
it's a reboot.
Hmm.
I also got a chance to work in. I've done a few commercials, so I've also done like a Bell Talk commercial for Canada.
Hmm.
I've done a Microsoft commercial.
Hmm.
I've done an Amazon commercial.
Uh huh.
I even did a commercial for the Montreal Canadiens, the hockey team here. Yeah.
Oh,
So I've been pretty busy. I've worked in a few Hallmark TV shows. I mean, I can't really say what they are, but every week they've been trying to get me on the show for a while. But I've been so busy with auditions, auditions, auditions. Every week I have at least 3, 4 auditions. It seems like I guess they like me. I don't know, but
well, I like
even
you
though I'm getting
already.
auditions, but I still got to get the job. So I was saying to my agent, I said to my agent, I'm getting all these auditions, but come on, I got to get something. So he said to me, the fact that you're getting the auditions, meaning that they like you, which is
Yeah,
because
which is
I know
good.
I know a lot of actors, friends of mine
Hmm.
who they're not really getting a lot of auditions. So I'm one of the lucky ones because every week I have.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
but
So,
another audition that I did that I was hoping that I would get the role was in Star Trek Discovery because I like Star Trek. So
right.
I
You
had the
look like a Star
opportunity.
Trek guy.
Yes, I had the opportunity to audition for Star Trek Discovery,
Right.
but they didn't call me, so I guess they gave somebody else the role.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. But you know that door. We always say home in Barbados, and I know you know what I
Mhm.
mean. When that door opens, the opportunity is going to be just right because God is the one who's looking for that opportunity for you. You
Well,
do the work,
actually,
and
yeah.
He's going to place you in the right place at the right time.
Well, you're right because in actually the next role that I'm playing, actually the director actually um, came to me and asked me if I want to be in his film, and I'm like, when somebody comes, you came to me, yes. So it's because he said I fit the role perfectly, and he said, listen, you don't even have to audition. I'm giving you the part. We're making the short film, then we're gonna make the big film, and we're gonna keep all the people in the short film, the big film. And I was like, really? So it's gonna be a movie called Shadow of the Conqueror. Okay, Shadow. So anybody, if you go online and you type in Shadow of the Conqueror, you can
Yeah.
see it's also a book on Amazon.
Uh huh.
And the writer is Shad Brooks, and he's from Australia.
Okay.
So they decided that they want to do the film. It's going to be like a
Hmm.
fantasy movie with airships and like special effects. So
Yeah.
so right now we're doing rehearsals. So like I
Hmm.
have a rehearsal after, and
Right.
we're all doing Zoom rehearsals because we have the actor from Australia, so we have from England, we have
Oh,
from
COVID.
Minnesota, from
COVID.
here. Yeah, right. So right now we're just doing Zoom auditions. We're reading the scripts. You see, I have See, script right here, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
How
we're
has
reading
it
the
been
script.
for you? How has it been for you? I know you said you've got loads of auditions and stuff like that,
Yes.
but are most of your auditions face to face, or are all of them Zoom?
Well, no, okay. Before the auditions, it used to be face to face, but now with the COVID, everything is Zoom,
Hmm.
or we do self tapes, which I find a lot better because when you do a self tape, you can do it over and over again.
Right,
But I try to do maybe 3 or 4 takes and that's it because we try to do it so perfect
hmm,
that when you do it one time, you do it again and again. So I just try to limit myself to 2 or 3 times and that's it because I don't want to
right.
keep overdoing myself. So it's much easier. So I have my setup here. As you can see, my white wall. I
White
fix up my
wall.
camera.
Hmm.
I read the script. I do it. I send it in.
Hmm.
And what I do, I forget about it. I just put
Yeah,
it aside, move on to the next.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if I check my email and I see, oh, I got the job, well, well, then I got the job.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But right
Hmm.
now there is so much competition, right?
Yeah.
And because with the
In Canada?
COVID,
In
yes, oh
Canada?
yeah, yes. There's
Wow.
there's a lot of competition. No, because in Canada right now, they shoot a lot of movies here, especially in
That's what
Toronto
I was about
and
to ask
Montreal.
you. I was about to
Yes,
ask
yes, they
you,
do.
is
So
it because
a
it's
lot of
cheaper?
times, yeah, it's
Is the
much cheaper.
financing cheaper? Okay.
Exactly. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times, a lot of the main actors they're Americans. So the Americans they come here, and
Mm-hmm.
then we get to audition for some of the parts. It all depends on what's left over. I always say that we get the leftovers, but sometimes we're lucky to get the lead. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
Montreal is one place like you would be surprised if I told you some names of some movies that they shot here. You would be surprised and you would
Try
say,
me.
really?
Oh, try me.
Okay,
Give me two.
all right. The last 3 X-Men movies.
You lie.
No, I worked in the last one.
And
Okay,
you're kidding.
X-Men
I'm gonna
movies.
go back and watch you. I
The
haven't
X-Men
seen you in
movies.
that one.
Well, because you were looking for me.
I watch all three.
But those movies were shot in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Jack Ryan TV series season 1 was shot in Montreal.
Montreal. Okay.
What else did we shoot? There's a movie called Death Wish with Bruce Willis. Willis, it's like a
Yes, yes,
reboot.
yes, yes, yeah.
Was shot in Montreal.
Uh-huh.
Over there, we shoot so much stuff here in Montreal that you would not believe that it's shot in Montreal.
But for others, it would be a surprise because
Yes.
I did a cruise about 3, 4 years ago, and it took me to New England, and I
Okay.
stopped in at St. John, New Brunswick, and we did a tour. And one of my favorite movie stars from the Italian Job is from Canada. And the tour guide said to us, most of the films that we watch on television, be it series
Hmm.
or movie, are filmed in Canada. It doesn't matter which part of
Exactly.
Canada. The majority, because they say they come across the border because in Canada it's cheaper. So
Yes, it
for those
is.
who are Hallmark lovers, if those persons who
Yes.
already watch a lot of Hallmark movies like me and my relatives in Montreal,
Hmm.
I always say, I wonder which part of Canada that was. And I would Google it. I always Google it. But I wouldn't think that X-Men and those films would have been
Oh
Jason Jack
yes.
Ryan. I would never think that they're
Yeah.
filming there.
Because
But
we have big studios here. We have Mel Studio. It's like big studios.
uh-huh.
So they do a lot of work inside the studios. Like so it's for example the movie Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. It was
Right.
shot here in the studio. Yeah.
Wow.
The Bone Collector with
With
Denzel
Denzel
Washington
Washington.
was
Uh-huh.
shot here in Montreal in the
Well, I'm gonna
studio.
watch that again. I'm gonna try because I'm an avid Montrealer. I'm always in
Mhm.
Montreal. Well, I haven't been for these last 2, 3 years
Okay.
because of, but um, j'habite à La Salle. I gotta say that. So I know La
Okay.
Salle. So when when I go like to downtown Montreal, out by
Mhm.
McGill, along the business district, I
Yep.
would have to pick out scenes, if quote unquote, if those are the areas that they film, because I think those would be the areas that they film the most because
Well,
of the
usually, yeah, it
scenery and
would
the
be downtown because
river.
yeah, they use downtown a lot for New York City, actually. Yes,
Right.
and they use well, actually, I was working on a film couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't really say what it is, but they were using it for New York City,
Right.
and because right now they're filming Transformers.
Yeah. Another one.
There's a new Transformer, so they're using Montreal, yes.
Right.
And also, have you ever watched the show Transplant?
No. Is it
Okay,
a horror?
Transplant.
Sounds like a horror.
No. It's
Is
a
it a
medical
thriller?
show. It's a medical show.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be based in Toronto. Actually, season 1 NBC picked it up, so now they're shooting season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another show that is shot here.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, I'm on there as the maintenance guy. So
I'm gonna watch you.
well, because sometimes, the thing is about these movies and TV shows, you could shoot all day and then they cut you out, so you never know. But sometimes I see myself on TV sometimes, but sometimes I really don't go looking for myself because I've worked in so much stuff. It's like people might come and say, you look familiar. And I say, maybe you see me on TV or something. I don't know. So for me, it's just like a job,
Mm-hmm.
So just like this one that I have coming up, the fantasy movie, by the way, it's a real part. So I'll be playing a character named Eric, and he's supposed to be. They're putting me with yellow hair, and like everybody in the movie has. It's like they're all from different planets, so they have different color hair. Some guys blue hair. Yeah,
it's a bit like Star Trek.
Exactly. So this is going to be great. So if it works out the way I think it's going to work out, well, maybe this could be my big break.
Well, we'll pray for you on that. We're going to pray for you on that. And on this note, because we know that you have your rehearsal, and I don't want to.
Yes, I got rehearsal soon.
I know that you have your rehearsal. What would be your advice for any young upcoming actress that want to get into this field?
Well, the one thing I'm going to say, you got to keep learning, okay? Because I don't watch TV like your normal person or movies. I watch and I analyze. See what the actors are doing, how they're acting, how they're directing, okay? How the directors are directing. Now, the advice is don't give up, because a lot of times people, they want to give up because they're not getting work, right? Now, in this business, there's a lot of rejection. Believe me, a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
Because I have done auditions where I feel, hey, I got the part.
Right.
But if you don't fit exactly what they want, well, they're going to choose somebody else. So you should never let that discourage you. You just got to keep trying, keep going, and keep going. Like I said, like for me, I couldn't believe a director got in touch with me and wanted me to be in his movie. So you see, so sometimes you never know. You never know. You just got to keep on practicing. If you could take classes, like I'll take some classes once in a while. I'll take some classes, but never give up. Don't give up.
And you have to have a passion. If you love it, you have to have that passion for it. Yeah.
Because even today, I was speaking to a friend of mine, and she's been in movies. Like she's in her 60s, late 60s, I think. Yeah, late 60s, and she started late, but she's getting work. But then she just mentioned to me, well, it's been a while since I had an audition. But she loves the business so much, she doesn't give up. She goes, doesn't matter. I'm still taking some classes, and she's learning. So we just gotta continue, and because you never know. Like I know people, they've gone to a movie set as an extra, and the next thing you know, they have an actor role. Why?
Right.
Because they have the look that they're looking for.
Right.
But the one thing I want to say now is that today we go for every role. So now it's not only for Caucasians.
Yes.
I get a lot of auditions, scripts that says that any ethnicity. So anybody can go for the role now. So they're giving everybody a chance, because if you look now at a lot of TV shows and even the commercials on TV, you will see that there's diversity.
Definitely.
Right.
We are definitely seeing it. across the board,
Yes,
because commercials even that were once Caucasian base, and you
exactly.
rarely see, and it's not just African Americans. You're now seeing the Indians. You're now seeing
Yes, yeah, the Chinese. Oh
the
yes, yes.
albinos. You're now seeing people that
Yeah.
are albinos in the films, the Indians, the Chinese, and it's not just set now because they're truly looking at equality across the board
Well,
within the
I have a
entertainment
few
spectrum.
white actor friends, and they're saying that now it's getting hard for them to get work, and they're telling me, "Oh, I'm very lucky." They're telling me I'm very lucky it, because the truth of the matter is I'm getting a lot more auditions than them. You know,
Wow.
so yes, yeah, we it's about time. You know, we're getting more opportunities. So
That's right. That's right. That's right. I agree with that. I agree with that. And
yes,
on that note, Christopher,
yes,
we're going to remain friends because when
yes, we
I
will.
arrive in Montreal, I'll take you to
Yes.
dinner. I'm not sure which
Oh,
side of
I'll be looking
Montreal
forward to
you're
that.
on. I'm not sure which side of Montreal you're on. I'm always
Yeah.
in La Salle, and
Okay,
our
I know
dear
LaSalle. I
friend,
used to live in LaSalle. I
our
used to live
close
in
friend
LaSalle.
Joelle, yeah, she used to live in that area.
Yes,
I can't remember exactly
yes.
which side she's gone to now, but
Hmm.
from us to you, we want you to know you don't have to wait to get your star on the Walk of Fame. Your star will be right here on our show on Keeping It Real with Mary and Lionel. Because
Oh,
to
thank you so
us,
much.
even
Yes.
though a lot of people don't realize the importance that you may play outside of
Mhm.
Barbados, you are still representing Barbados. You might have left here from a little
Oh,
boy
I'm
and
a
gone
Bajan. Oh,
across.
I'm still a Bajan. I
We
come back there
know,
and I visit.
we
Oh
know,
yes.
and we know for sure that your star will shine brighter than you anticipate and brighter than you know. And we want to
Well, thank you.
thank you from the bottom of our hearts that you are one of our greatest and biggest stars to us
Oh, well,
in
thank you very much.
Barbados. And you will
Thank you.
definitely always be in our heart. So we want you
Oh,
to be blessed and know
yes.
that Christopher Price will be on the Walk of Fame on Keeping It Real with Mary and Lionel. We want to wish you all the
Oh,
best on your journey,
well, thank
and
you
we
very
will
much.
continue to follow you.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Yes. All the
And I'll see you
best.
guys in Shadow. I'll see you guys in Shadow of the Conqueror. Shadow of the
Oh, we'll,
Conqueror.
you know, you got to give me all the info on that because we're going to make sure that you're going to be back on the show giving us a tidbit and you're going to be holding something in your hands sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Bye bye. So, folks, that was Christopher Ricardo Price, who was with us this afternoon. We hope and pray that you had a wonderful, wonderful time with us. And before we go, we want to extend condolences to Mr. Raul Branca, the family of Mr. Raul Branca. He was one of our greatest cricketers, all rounders in Barbados, and we are sorry to hear that he has passed. Um, he contributed very much within the sporting arena of cricket, as well as having his own store and other small businesses. And we know that he would be missed tremendously from the cricketing arena for those who would have been able to sit around with him and hear stories of his time while he played for the West Indies team and regionally as well as locally. So, folks, we want to also give some information for those of you who may have missed out on it. There are some revised times for those who are looking to get their COVID-19 test. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has advised that there are new operating hours for designated COVID-19 testing sites. Now, the opening hours for the Brantford Tate Polyclinic, which is located in Blackrock, are weekdays from 8 to 1:30 p.m. and then again from 2:30 to 6:30 p.m. On weekends and holidays, they will operate from 8 a.m. till noon. Testing at the Eunice Gibson Polyclinic, which is located in Warrens, will take place on weekdays from 9 a.m. till noon and again from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. During the weekends and holidays, the polyclinic will open from 8 a.m. until noon. The main testing site is at Wildy Gymnasium, Wildy, St. Michael. These tests will be conducted weekdays from 9 a.m. till noon and then from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. The operating times will be on weekends from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays and on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on public holidays like today, it will be until 1 p.m. All persons who are visiting these sites are required to reach their destination at least 30 minutes before each site closes. Remember, folks, 30 minutes before those sites close. Unfortunately, for today, we've had 10 new cases. 4 females and 6 males are the latest persons to have been diagnosed with the COVID-19, done by the Best Dos Santos Public Health Laboratory, which conducted 1,100 tests on Sunday, which was yesterday, August 1st. And now they currently have 118 persons in isolation. A total of 4,417 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 2,145 females, 2,272 males. These have been recorded since the start of the pandemic in March of last year. And we've had 48 lives claimed by this virus. So we continue to ask our fellow men out there to wear your mask. Wear your mask. Indoor, outdoor, wear your mask. Sanitize your hands. Wash your hands, soap and water. Wash your hands and sanitize. Social distance, social distance. We continue to implore you, Barbadians, there to help us make this a better place for us so that we can get back to some form of normalcy. A lot of us aren't doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we're asking you all the time, please, please adhere to these things. Tomorrow is another public holiday which commemorates that of yesterday, which was Emancipation Day, which we celebrate on the 1st of August. And because of that, we would have been given the Tuesday as the public holiday. Today is Condolment Day. It's a public holiday in Barbados. And persons I've noticed have been pretty good, have been keeping to themselves, even if they step out, their social distancing and stuff like that. We've had news of the former minister, Donovan Illis, who has been off to prison in Texas to serve his term of 2 years. So, it's detrimental to learn these things, but folks, we know they say if you do the crime, you got to do the time. So, unfortunately, not very good news. And remember tomorrow, folks, from 11 o'clock, we're going to be having the West Indies versus the Pakistan team in Guyana, Providence. Hopefully, we may get a win. We'll look and see what the captain's team will be chosen for that game. And we still have some highlights for tomorrow with the Olympics. For those who want to follow the Olympics this afternoon, um, check your TV schedule. I think the Olympics continues from 8 p.m. this evening, and you can follow on with that. We want to be able also to congratulate the Jamaican women for getting the gold, silver, and bronze. Thompson, Fraser Price, and Jackson. Congratulations to those wonderful young women who went out ahead of the team or ahead of the game to get those medals and represented the Caribbean. Of course, we know they're Jamaicans, but 1, 2, 3 goal are all for us in Barbados within the Caribbean. So, folks, continue to stay safe. We look forward to seeing you on Monday, the 9th of August. We're going to be having at 9 a.m. Christopher Ricardo Roberts, and in the evening at 6 p.m. Road to the Tokyo Olympics. That's going to be a post show because the Olympics finishes on the 8th of August. And we get to have an opportunity to sit down with Captain Michael Jules to give us a little insight into the Olympics and his views on what the sporting arena is like in Barbados. So, folks, stay safe. Remember, call a friend or a family. Let them know how much you care and say, I love you. Bye bye, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.